I want to relate this to we had. I get this question a lot. And we'll wrap this one up, but I get this question a lot. So the question is always like, is it better? Is it always unanimously better if I'm more flexible? And we have a guy at the gym, Rafi. He's a really, really excellent guy. He's in his 60s. He's so flexible for a 60-year-old man. It's just bananas. He can sit in the bottom of a squat, but his back gets hurt all the time. And the issue there is that he is so flexible, but he's not very strong. So the flexibility puts him into positions where he's more likely to get injured. And that's kind of what Tanner's talking about here. If you're that yogi, very flexible person, but you get hurt in that position, it's because you're not strong through the whole range. And then the opposite could be true, right? You have, like, if somebody's really strong and they're not very flexible, it's a good trade-off because they're very strong. So they're just very unlikely to get hurt as long as they stay in their kind of zone of comfort where they're like the range of motion that they're good at. So anyways, we'll wrap this one up, but you guys can sit and think about, like, are you really tight? What might you want to do? And you can ask us questions and put them in the comments here, or ask in person, Tanner or I. And if you're really loose and you get these back injuries recurring, we're not talking like go to the hospital back injuries. We're talking like back pain that bothers you and it annoys you. Ask the same thing. Like you might, if you're flexible and getting back pain, you might want to think, how can I tighten up and strengthen those areas? And if you're tight, you might want to think, how can I add some flexibility without losing my strength? So any last thoughts, Tanner?
No, that kind of sums it up. Like, you named Rafi as someone that is on the first end of the spectrum that we mentioned, has a lot of range of motion, a lot of flexibility. And I can specifically think of someone else, and I'm not going to name names, who's had a recent injury, who doesn't have the flexibility that Rafi has, but he's probably 5 times stronger and he knows how to deadlift, but he's injured now, and a lot of it has to do with the lack of range of motion that he has. So
and the injuries come from both sides, and it's equally confusing, right? Like, because it's always like, okay, what should if you're getting hurt and you're tight, you're like, oh damn, I should just get more flexible. And if you're loose and you're getting hurt, you're like, okay, I should just get tighter. So it's why there's dialogue and discovery.
Yeah. And as a last point, it's something for you guys to consider is, if you struggle in that hinging pattern and it's slow and it's just a deadlift, you consider what it then means to do it fast, and why we don't do a lot of barbell cleans and snatches. So that's something for you guys to really consider. If you struggle with a slow hinging pattern, a fast one can be much more of a detriment to you.
Just more likely to get,